Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Matt.
I'm Pop.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Daniel.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girl.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to have you with us today. As you can see, we're being hit with some rainy weather and it is causing some issues here on the farm. Not only is this going to make the workday a lot more difficult, it's also flooding like all of the fields. It's raining quite a bit out here. We're gonna get heading over to the farm now, but I just wanted to stop and look at the crop, see how everything was looking. I mean, we definitely needed some rain, but this is a lot of rain. Look at all this salsa. Oh my word. Hey ladies! The pen is looking good for the girls. We try and divert the water around the chicken pen. We do have a few areas where it's sloppy, but for the most part, there's plenty of dry space to lay down. As you can imagine, with all the rain, picking out in the fields is not high on our priority list today. We would like to stay dry. However, we do have a little bit of an issue. We've got orders. Oh yeah, we love a good order. So what does that mean for me? Well, it means I'm hoping that this rain will let up here in a little bit and we'll be able to get out and do some picking. But if not, I'm gonna have to pick in the rain. Oh joy. With the amount of rain that came down in such a short period of time, I'm glad we worked on our drainage down around back. For this year, we were kind of kicking back and forth as to which greenhouse we wanted to use for the cafeteria this year. Right now, we're in greenhouse number 6, and as you can see, we've been setting up calf pens in greenhouse number 6. And there's a very good reason for that, because greenhouse number 5 was a little too full when we started getting an overflow of calves. Greenhouse number 6 has been a greenhouse that we have used to store different types of equipment and different items that we use for our greenhouses. I still think we're gonna be using it for that. I just think there may be like a hybrid. We might have 2 different cafeterias this year, which that's a little crazy, but you gotta do what you gotta do. There you go, guys. I was just checking the forecast on my phone and I saw that we're in kind of like a lull period right now. It's still raining, it's just a little bit lighter than it had been, but that weather is gonna pick back up here any moment now. We just got all the animals taken care of. They've been fed. We've been bedding up a few of the animals as well. I think we're gonna move 2 calves actually from greenhouse number 6 out into these like communal pens. So that's probably what we're gonna be doing next. We just have to take the pen apart. While I'm in greenhouse number 4 though, it's a great opportunity to show you guys that this thing has emptied out quite a bit. We still have some hanging mums over here and we've got some along the far side, but that's it. And then this greenhouse, we can winterize it. We can come through, we can get all the water pipes disconnected. That's a good feeling. That's a good feeling when you don't have something to worry about. I mean, we still got all the other greenhouses and all the other stuff, but one less thing, that's nice. That's really nice. Right up the hill. Come on. That's a good looking group of calves. I love what I see. Came inside to get out of the rain for a few minutes. What are you working on in here, Grammy?
Red beets.
Red beets? Oh my word. And it looks like you've been working on more than just that. We got banana and zucchini bread over here. And you see that basket of tomatoes down there? It's my basket of tomatoes. The plan, and like I said, plan, and I try and accomplish all my plans. The plan is to try and make some tomato sauce very shortly. And well, I should say spaghetti sauce, that's what I'm gonna be making. And I plan on recording it. Now, I've never done a video like that before. So I don't know how it's gonna go, but we're definitely gonna try it. And I need to get my sauce done because Daniel's already done his sauce. How much sauce have you done? I don't, you don't even wanna know how much sauce Grammy's done. Yeah, Grammy's done a lot of sauce, but I'm trying to get mine taken care of. The plan is to do tomato sauce and then we might do some other stuff. I'm not sure. Grammy did pears for me. I gotta take my pears home. Grammy's a sweetheart. Thank you, Grammy. What are you working on, Matt?
We are ordering flowers for 2026.
But Matthew, it's not even the end of 2025 yet. Why are you ordering so early?
Because if I don't order them now, I don't get what I want.
My goodness, this is usually the time of the year where you'll see Aunt Rhonda and Matthew just looking at books and books and books. A lot of these books actually have like cocktails. I don't know what other names to call them, but they have like pre-made flower mixes that you can select from. And this is when you need to get all that stuff figured out because as Matt said, there is only a limited amount. And if we don't get our order in, we won't get what we want. Aunt Rhonda is usually the one that totally takes care of the greenhouse, but Matthew has been helping her more and more every year. I think it's kind of like a handing of the torch thing, but I mean, you can't replace Aunt Rhonda. She's impressive in that greenhouse. And I'm thinking because of the rain, we're not too busy as of right now, but if that rain starts to slow down, it might pick up in here. A few things in the farm market that have been very popular and we've been picking a lot of is colored peppers, the red Italianos, and the assortment of green, red, yellow, and orange bell. They've been flying. Some other things that have been pretty hot, the broccoli. I mean, it's only $2 for those large heads of broccoli, so they've been kind of flying out of this area. And then lastly, the hot peppers. This is something that's always very popular, along with the beans. These are taken like crazy this point in the year. A lot of people are canning all different types of stuff and freezing all different types of stuff. And these hot peppers usually are pretty popular when you're doing something like that. You can find some pretty interesting ways to add flavor when you start throwing peppers into different things.
Base appearance circular business, the leaves are pretty slow. Baby blue forget-me-not type blossoms on them.
Before we continue on with today's video, I have to talk to you about today's sponsor, Grüns. Grüns are a convenient, comprehensive formula packed into a snack pack a day. This is not a multivitamin, it's not a greens gummy, it's not a prebiotic. It's actually all those things wrapped into one for a fraction of the price. And the bonus on top of it is these things actually taste great. What's really cool is that this flavor that they have right now, it tastes just like green apple Jolly Ranchers. Something else I didn't realize would be so cool is that you actually get to eat an entire pack of gummies. You don't just get one gummy. This isn't just like a normal greens gummy. Because there's so many different ingredients, there's over 20 vitamins and minerals inside those gummies with a whole host of other things. You can't just fit them into one gummy, so you need the whole pack. There's a whole host of ingredients inside these gummies. There's organic carrots, there's organic blueberries, organic kale. And as you guys know, I'm trying to take better care of myself. I got these babies I need to look after, and these gummies actually have 3 times the dietary fiber as opposed to green powders. And the thing that blew me away is there's over 35,000 research publications that support the ingredients inside these Grüns gummies. Now, I'm very happy Grüns decided to work with me today, but they actually want to work with you guys too. If you use the link in my description, you can get up to 52% off your next order. That's a crazy discount, and you need to act fast because this flavor is going to sell out quick. It's pretty good. Lastly, I just want to thank Grüns for sponsoring today's video and taking care of me. The rain has finally died down quite a bit, and I'm taking this opportunity to get out and get some orders picked. So we're going to be taking a ride out to the swampy fields and get some picking done. There's a pigeon in the barn. That's new. We don't have pigeons around here. Now the order that we have to get harvested today is for 2 half-bushel baskets of green jalapenos. And as you've seen, that's not gonna be too much of an issue because the plants out here are loaded. Now that's what I would say too. However, when you start looking into these jalapeno plants, you'll notice that a lot of them are starting to mature and turn color. And that's when an order of a bushel of green jalapenos, it's actually gonna be a little more difficult than you think. Thankfully, I found an area where we haven't done too much picking the past few days, so I'm gonna be able to find loads of these green ones and get these baskets filled up. Now some of you may be curious why someone would want an order of all green jalapenos, and there's a few different reasons for that. One big reason is because they're used for pickling or they're used for making jalapeno poppers. When they're on the greener side like this, when they're not completely ripened and changed over in color, they're firmer and they hold their structure, they hold their, I'd say the pepper just holds together a little bit better before it ripens. As it ripens, the pepper gets a little softer. And that helps out a lot if you're doing different forms of canning. You're freezing them. A lot of times that's what people want the green pepper for. Now, structurally, there is a lot of difference. You know, the peppers, they soften as they ripen up, and there's a few reasons for that. But when it comes to flavor, when you're looking at like a green jalapeno, the flavor is not going to be as complex as one of the red jalapenos. It's a little like grassier. The heat is sharp on these jalapenos, but it's a little different compared to the heat with the red ones. The red jalapenos, since they've ripened up, they have a fruitier flavor to them. Believe it or not, if you can't handle heat, you might not be able to pick up on that. But yes, the red jalapenos do have a fruitier flavor. Now they can be used for different things, but the heat is actually a little more intense in the red jalapenos. You'll have people that'll argue with you about that, but it's science, because as the pepper gets older, there's more capsaicin in the pepper. So a red jalapeno will be hotter than a green jalapeno. The only difference is sometimes the heat in a green jalapeno is sharp because the flavors haven't fully developed there yet. So it's just a pretty interesting fact I like to talk about when we're picking a few of these orders. We'll get lots of questions about why people would want just one or the other when it comes to the color of a pepper. A lot of people just can't see past the color of the pepper, but when you really start to think about the flavors and the different uses of these peppers, even the same pepper just at a different form of ripeness, I should say maturity, at a different maturity, then you really start to realize why you need so many different types of peppers. Now these, I'm not 100% sure what they could be used for or what they are going to be used for. I know salsas are very popular with the green jalapenos. As I had mentioned before, pickling and canning, if you're making jalapeno poppers, I prefer the green ones. And then the red ones, there's a whole host of stuff you could use for that. You could use it for salsas. You could use it for a whole bunch of different dishes. I just enjoy peppers a lot. Not only picking them, it can be fun to pick these things, but eating them, oh, it can be just as exciting. I know me and my uncle yesterday on the grill, we did jalapenos stuffed with cheese. Oh, it was excellent, wonderful. I would do it again right now if I was home. Now, if you've raised jalapenos at home, I'm sure you've had plenty of opportunity to sample all the different type of peppers that you raise. But when it comes to jalapenos, there's actually something interesting that happens to jalapenos as they mature. This one is red. You know, I'm gonna put it in my basket. Don't worry, I'm not gonna throw it on the ground. You'll notice it has kind of like these stretch marks on it. This is called corking, and in certain markets, like in Mexico, the corking is very popular. Now that usually happens when a pepper is left on the vine, or I should say left on the plant for a little bit longer. In some areas, they will argue with you that that adds to the heat of the pepper, but it's completely safe to eat. If you had jalapenos that were corking in your garden, there's nothing wrong with that. It just looks like little stretch marks on the pepper. But yeah, it's called corking. So if you didn't know about that, now you know about it. And in Mexico, there are people that look for corked jalapenos. They're that popular. Here in northeast central Pennsylvania, when people see corking on the jalapenos, it's probably not their favorite thing to find, but just so you know, there is a place out there. There is a jalapeno for everyone. It's like there's plenty of fish in the sea, there's plenty of jalapenos on the plant. You can't complain about these jalapenos, that's one thing I will say. When I was back at the farm, I had talked about getting prepared to start canning my own tomato sauce. Now, I did it last year. The years before that, I don't know why, Grammy, just being the sweetheart she is, she would always end up doing it for me and giving me a few jars of sauce. I also lived at the farmhouse for the longest time, so that's probably, you know, we just all use the kitchen there together. But now that I've got my own place, I've been, you know, eating a lot more sauce. I got my little family. Spaghetti is pretty popular, you know. So that's why I wanted to do my own sauce. I had talked a few times about some other stuff I've wanted to do. I think we're gonna do cowboy candy. You know, I've talked about cowboy candy probably 47 times on this channel over the past few years. And I've always talked about how much I've wanted to try it. A friend of mine made some cowboy candy and gave it to me. And, you know, it made me want it even more. So I think we're gonna do tomato sauce, we're gonna do spaghetti sauce, and then I'm gonna do some cowboy candy. And I'm thinking, with all the peppers that we have, I kinda wanna freeze some peppers and just use them all winter long. So it's gonna be a little bit of a different process, but I believe I'm gonna do some of the Italianelle. The whole point I'm bringing this up is because I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think I should do besides the tomato sauce, the cowboy candy, and freezing of the peppers? Now, you're all well aware of what I've been picking here on the farm, so let me know down in the comments anything else you'd like to see me can or freeze, and I'll see if I'm able to get it done. As you can imagine, with the videos and with the farm and with the family, I'm pretty busy as it is. So if I do end up canning and freezing this stuff, I'm probably gonna try and record it. I can't promise that the videos are gonna be super high quality, because, you know, there's probably some great channels out there where you could learn quite a bit about canning and freezing. But what I'm gonna do is just follow our recipe or a recipe that I find online, and I just wanna show you how you could use the stuff that you have in your garden, or if you're like me, the stuff that you have in your fields, and you could use them all winter long rather than just the short period of time that you're harvesting. Because this is one of the things that's always gotten me about being a vegetable farmer, growing up on the farm. All year long, I get this fresh produce, and I'm able to enjoy it, but you can't can and freeze everything and have that same level of freshness. So I do kind of get bummed out when we have that first big frost of the year. You know, growing up as a kid, I kind of liked when frost would come because it meant, like, I've got less work now. You know, it's easier. I don't have to work as hard. But now that I've gotten older, I recognize how much of a pain in the butt a frost can be, especially when you're harvesting nice produce like this. So I would appreciate if you let me know down in the comments any other things you think I could freeze. I might do some poblanos too, some hot peppers. And I can handle a little bit of spice, nothing too crazy. I might do poblanos, and we also have quite a load of ghost chilies and habaneros. We might dry them and then crush them up into a dust, and then we might be able to use those as well. Yeah, but let me know down in the comments. Give me any ideas, and yeah. I think I'm gonna start doing a couple videos about like canning and stuff, and maybe, you know what, I might make a video where I make salsa. Who knows? You know, that fresh tomato salsa, nothing too crazy. Can't be doing all this canning. Grammy's gonna think I'm coming in for a job. Nah, that's silly. Grammy knows I can't compete. I don't have the experience yet. And there we have it, our beautiful order of jalapenos. I just checked my phone and I saw that we are gonna be getting some more rain showers rolling through. We had a slight little lull period, I enjoyed that, but I'm starting to feel the raindrops hitting me, and yeah, the wind is starting to pick up again. We're gonna get back to the farm so we don't have to get completely soaked.
wash it?
No, I washed them out in the field for you. We had some plum tomatoes that Matthew had picked yesterday. So while we were running our jalapenos through the washer, felt like this was a good time to run our tomatoes through the washer as well. Now, did you get these off the new planting or the old planting? Old planting. Old planting. So our new planting, I've seen some of the plum tomatoes starting to turn color. They look really nice, but I mean the old planting is still producing really well. We got all the tomatoes ran through the washer. While we have an extra person down here, we're gonna put some hay in for the cattle. It's nice to have an extra person because some of these guys like to try and escape. Oh, he's pretty excited. You know what Callie calls that cow right there? Cucamonga. I have no idea why. She calls that one Cucamonga, and then that little red Holstein over there she calls Chugabaga. And I can't, she's got an imagination. I have no idea where those names are coming from. I think Pop Pop is influencing some of those name choices, but Callie remembers the names. Ah! Getting mud on me. He has his arm hanging out the window and he's whining about the mud getting on him. What do you think is gonna happen?
I need doors. I need a windshield wiper.
We've only got a few minutes where we're dealing with a light sprinkle, so we want to get a few more things picked really quick. And one of those things we need to grab is some hot wax peppers. Now when you're picking hot wax, it's very important that you grab a few hot peppers to put on top of the hot wax. Jalapenos, hot cherry peppers, whatever the case, because believe me, you do not want to get a basket of sweet banana and a basket of hot wax mixed up. It could be painful. We've got Dad over here. He's gonna be working on grabbing some sweet banana, and I'm gonna be grabbing a basket of long hot peppers. We got our hot wax peppers on the back of the side-by-side, and then over here is the sweet banana, and you'll notice we put sweet pepper on top of these. You cannot tell the difference. There are people who say they can. I believe if you're picking the peppers, the hot wax have a smoother feel to them, and the sweet banana have a little bit of a rougher texture. But if you were to just look at the peppers and not handle them as often as we do, it could be kind of difficult to tell. Have you ever seen someone accidentally eat a hot wax when they're trying to get a sweet banana?
I've heard a customer come back and complain.
Yeah, and Lefty. It happened to Lefty too.
No, he ate a Pusa Jawala.
He ate a Pusa Jawala, which is an Indian pepper, and then to curb the heat, he grabbed a pepper behind him, which he thought was a sweet banana, but that was a hot wax. So yeah, we don't raise the Pusa Jawalas anymore. There's a tomato in there. For lunch today, we've got a whole mix mash of things. I'm looking at that chicken salad, that looks good. And then Grammy's got banana bread over here with what, cream cheese icing? Oh my word. Oh, baby. So today's video is going to be a little interesting because once we got finished off with work, I made my way home. Now, I got home a little bit earlier because it's been raining, it's been nasty out. I was able to smoke a chicken on my grill. That was fun, my smoker. And yeah, Mommy and Callie went to get their hair done. So they're not here right now, but we have Lily and Ronnie, and we're just eating some dinner. How's your dinner? Good? Yeah? Wonderful, wonderful. That's amazing. It's been a good day though, right? Yep. Are you hungry? Yeah? You gonna eat your food? Yeah, since it's time to eat our dinner, that means this is where we're gonna be ending the video today. I would like to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.